All right, guys, let's knock out this practice test. First one says divide using long division. So I'm going to set that one up with an x minus 3 out here. Oh, man, this is going to take a second. 2x to the fourth. There's no x cubed. I'm just going to leave an empty space for the x cubed plus x minus 1. On top, I'm going 2x cubed because that's what it... Remember, I'm just looking at the first term here and the first term inside, and that's what it needs. So if I multiply everything in the front by 2x cubed, I get 2x to the fourth minus 6x cubed. Remember, draw the line, change the sign. Okay, that's gone. That gives me 6x cubed. I'm bringing down the next one, the negative 3x squared. I'm looking at the first term here again. First term here, it needs a 6x squared. Putting that up top, that gives me 6x cubed minus 18x squared. Draw the line, change the signs. All right, so that's gone as usual. I'm going to have to come down here a little bit. 15x squared. I'm going to bring down the x. Looking at the first term again. First term here. X, it needs the it needs a 15x. So I'm going to go 15x up here. Multiplying everything in the front by 15x gives me 15x squared minus 45x. Is getting huge. Draw the line, change the signs. That's gone. That's 46x minus 1. What does x need to be 46x? It needs 46. All right, so 46x. 3 times 46. Wow, that's 128. That's minus 138. Got to move this up. I'm running out of room. This is crazy long. That's why it's called long division. All right, so draw the line, change the sign. That's gone. That leaves 137, which is the remainder. So my answer, finally, is going to be 2x cubed plus 6x squared plus 15x plus 46, and then the remainder plus 137. Remember, put that back over your divisor over the x minus 3. And there you have it. All right. Wow. That's number 1. I got to erase that to go to number 2. I just took up all my space. All right, so let me erase that. Come on now. That's gone. Okay, here we go. Number 2, much better news. Divide using synthetic division. So I'm going to take my 2 and go right there. I have a 2, a 0, a 3, a 0, a negative 1. I hope you're really good with those zeros there. Remember, if you're missing an exponent, you got to put a 0 in its place. Start bringing the 2 down. Multiply. 2 times 2 is 4. Add. Multiply by what's in the box. Add. Multiply by what's in the box. Add. Multiply by what's in the box. You get 43 for your remainder. Don't forget to write your answer. Don't just do that and stop, all right? You're going to start your answer or quotient 1 degree less than we started. We started with 2x to the fourth. My answer is going to start with 2x cubed plus 4x squared plus 11x plus 22. And then remember, the 43 is going over the x minus 2. There you go. Much better than long division, synthetic. Okay. 3 says use synthetic substitution to find f of negative 1. So you're putting a negative 1 actually in the box. Don't change the sign. Use a negative 1. Notice I'm putting a 0 here because it's missing an x squared. And I'm going to go quick here. Synthetic. Bring the 1 down. Multiply, add, multiply, add, multiply, add, multiply, add. Okay, now whatever your remainder is, that's your answer. So write it this way. F of negative 1 would be 10, which means if you plug negative 1 in for the x's, you would get 10. Now do the same thing with the 4. 1, negative 3, 0, 2, 8. Bring the 1 down. 1 times 4 is 4. Add, multiply, add, multiply. That's a 16. Add, multiply, 72. That's 80. So f of 4 would be 80. Okay, so those are your 2 answers there. Number 4, determine whether negative 3 and 2 are zeros. If they are zeros, that means the remainder would be 0 if you divided it. So I can put negative 3 in the box. I've got a 3, a 5, a negative 6, and an 18. Let's see what happens here. Bring the 3 down. Multiply, add, multiply, add, So negative 3 is a yes. Negative 3, yes, it is a 0. Let's try the 2, because you can have up to 3 zeros this time. Whatever your degree is, that's how many zeros you could have. Bring the 3 down, multiply, add, multiply. It's not going to work, I can already tell. Add, multiply. There's no way that's going to be 0. 32 and 18. So for 2, I'm going to say no way. Not a 0. Number 5, factor, then find the zeros. All right, now when you factor this, what we're going to do is we're going to punch this in the calculator. Okay, we'll go to y equals going to punch that in, and I'm looking for some place where it crosses the x-axis. And what I see is it crosses the x-axis at 2. Okay, so I'm going to take that 2 and divide it in there and see what happens. So I'm going to bring the 1 down. Now, I know for sure 2 is a factor if I get a 0. Okay, so multiply, add, multiply, add, multiply. Sure enough, I do get a 0. Now, here's what you need to do. Take the numbers down here. X squared plus 7x plus 12. Now, remember what we're trying to do here. We're trying to factor it. So I'm going to factor what I have here. Factors of 12, that had to be 7. It'll be x plus 4 and x plus 3. Now, one mistake people make all the time. Don't forget our first one right here. That 2, because it's positive 2, actually came from the factor x minus 2. So those are your 3 factors. Okay, number 6. Number 6, these are review now. Find the zeros and the multiplicity. Okay, remember zeros, it ever makes your parentheses 0. Negative 3 is a 0 with multiplicity 3 because the exponent's 3. 2 is a 0 with multiplicity 1. Negative 4 is a 0 with multiplicity 2. That's an easy problem. You need to make sure you get that one right. Number 7, use the graphing calculator to find the real zeros. I can't show you that on here. What I'll do is I'll punch it in real quick. You won't know I'm pausing. I'm going to pause the video, punch it in. I'll put the answers down here. This is where you go like left bound, right bound, left bound, right bound, and just find out where remember zeros mean x-intercepts. You're looking for the x-intercepts, left bound, right bound stuff on the calc. I'll be right back with the answers. And there are your 3 answers, negative 4.38, negative 1.17, 2.54. If you need help with that, you can come see me sometime tomorrow before your test. I'll be glad to help you with those steps. Okay, number 8, absolute value. You have to isolate the absolute value. So first thing I'm doing is I'm moving the 5 over. Remember, 2 bars, 2 answers, which means the absolute value must equal 3 or the absolute value must equal negative 3. So just take the 2 over, you get 5. Take the 2 over, you get negative 1. And guys, both those answers are going to work. Okay, now number 9 has absolute value and less than, which means it's less than. Okay, you can write it this way. You can say it's less than 12 and greater than negative 12. Add 7 to all 3 sides. Don't forget to go all 3 sides there. Cancels there. It gives me 19 here. Gives me, it's a plus 7. Negative 5 there. So my interval would look like negative 5 to 19 with brackets because that equals. All right, number 10. First step on 10, tell what x cannot be. Well, factor this first. That's x plus 3, x minus 3, which just happens to be what's on the other side. My answer, x cannot equal positive 3 or negative 3. The LCD is what you need. The LCD is x plus 3 and x minus 3. And I'm going to multiply every single term by x plus 3, x minus 3. All 3 of these terms, I'm singing a song here. Okay, so the first term, the x minus 3 is canceled. That leaves me 5 times x plus 3. The second term, the x plus 3 is canceled. So it leaves me at 3 times x minus 3. And on the right-hand side, the whole thing cancels. So it's just negative 2. So I'm going to distribute here. Distribute the negative 3. And add stuff together. That's going to be a 2x and a 24 equals negative 2. Move the 26 over. Gives you negative 26. Divide by 2 gives you negative 13. Now, before you circle that, look back up here. That answer is perfect because it's not plus or minus 3. That's all you got to do. All right, number 11. Number 11, here's what we're going to do. I'm going to substitute for the x. Anytime your first exponent is twice as big as your second, it's really quadratic form. So I'm going to let z equal whatever my middle variable is. Z equals 1/3. And I'm going to substitute a z squared, a z, and a minus 6 into that equation where the x's used to be. I'm going to factor that. Z plus 3, z minus 2. I get this right here. I get negative 3 and positive 2. Now, that's what z equals. But don't forget, z is really x to the 1/3. So really that means x to the 1/3 power is negative 3. And x to the 1/3 power is positive 2. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cube both sides, because what happens is that makes that cancel. Negative 3 cubed is negative 27. Oh, here, do the same thing. Cube both sides. That cancels. Negative, that's just 2 cubed. 2 cubed is 8, and there's my 2 answers. So really, I just substituted the z where the x's were, factored it, put the x's back in, solved it. No big deal. Number 12, square. Multiply double square with an I, so be careful. Square. If I multiply those together, you get negative 10i. Double it, it's negative 20i. Square the 5i. Anytime you square something, it becomes positive. So positive 25i squared. Remember, I squared is really negative 1, which makes that really become negative 25. And if I do 4 negative 25, it's negative 21 minus a 20i. That's it. 13, use quadratic formula. Here we go, sing the song. This time it's y equals negative b plus or minus the square root b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. Okay, and then you just got to break it down the best you can. Always work what's inside. If I'm working out what's inside there, let's see, 4 times 2 is 8, times 2 is 24. It's going to be 49 inside there over 4. Now, a lot of times you'll be done right there, but this time we know the square root of 49, and I'm going to be honest with you, on your test, you'll be able to break that down also. Like, it's going to work out perfect. 5 plus 7 is 12 over 4, which is 3. 5 minus 7 is negative 2 over 4, which is really negative 1/2. There you go. 14, describe the end behavior. Okay, this is something we did very recently. I'm seeing odd and positive. Odd exponent, positive coefficient. Odd, positive goes down to the left, up to the right. That's all you got to do in 14. Hope that helps. Skip around, watch it several times if you need to, especially the problems that you need. If you need some help, please come see me before you take your test tomorrow. I'll be glad to help you as much as I can, and I will see you then.